this episode, I'm going to tell you about a great warrior queen from Indian history. For her, her subjects, her people, were the greatest priorities of life. She went through a lot of major tragedies, yet she lived for her people and made sure her people felt safe. Ahilyabai Holkar. Please watch. Ahilyabai Holkar was born on 31st May 1725. She was the hereditary noble Sardar of the Maratha Empire of India. She was fondly referred to as Rajmata Ahilyabai Holkar and was the Holkar queen of the Malwa kingdom. She was born in the village of Chondi in Jamkhed, Ahmednagar in Maharashtra. Her father, Mankoji Rao Shinde, was a Patil, chief of the village. He homeschooled her to read and write. She was married off to Khandirao Holkar in 1733 at the tender age of 8. But unfortunately, her husband, Khandirao, was killed in the Battle of Kumbher in 1754, leaving her a widow at only 21 years of age. Ahilyabai's only son, Malirao Holkar, ascended the throne under her regency. The young monarch Malirao also died a few months into his rule on 5th April 1767. Ahilyabai stood undeterred even after losing her entire family. She did not let the grief of her loss affect the administration of the kingdom and the lives of the people. She took matters into her own hands. After some time, her father-in-law Malharao Holkar also passed away. She was trained to be a ruler by her father-in-law, and after his death, she petitioned the Peshwa to take over the administration of the kingdom herself. She ascended the throne and became the ruler of Indore on 11th December 1767. The supreme ruler of the empire, Peshwa Raghoba, was instigated by one of Ahilya's own ministers to confiscate the excess wealth of Indore. Ahilyabai pointed out to him that under the agreements that existed, the wealth of the treasury was supposed to be for the well-being of her subjects and for charitable purposes. The Peshwa was furious that she defied him, and he threatened military action. She in turn challenged him to come and meet her on the battlefield. Some people in Malwa objected to her taking over of rulership, but the army of Holkar supported her leadership. She led them in person with 4 bows and quivers of arrows fitted to the corners of the howdah of her favorite elephant. She gathered a small force which included many women and set out to battle. A message was sent to the Peshwa. She had written, "I will show you how weak I am. If I lose fighting against men, I will have lost nothing, but if you lose against women, then you will be in a soup." And remember, that is exactly what will happen. The Peshwa had a change of heart. He said, "I do not come to fight, but to mourn over your son's death." He ended up staying as Ahilyabai's guest for a month and was thoroughly impressed at the skill with which she ruled. For example, she had greatly reduced crime and theft by encouraging poor people to get involved in trade and farming. She lived to the late age of 70 and passed away on the 13th of August 1795 in Rameshwar. Among her many accomplishments was the development of Indore from a small village to a prosperous and beautiful city. She also built forts and roads in Malwa, sponsored festivals, and gave donations for regular worship in many temples. Her capital at Maheshwar was a melting pot of literary, musical, artistic, and industrial achievements. She opened the capital's doors to poets and Sanskrit scholars. Her capital was known for its distinct craftsmen, sculptors, and artists who were paid handsomely for their work and kept in high regard by the queen. She also moved on to establishing a textile industry in the city. The poor, the homeless, and the orphan were all helped according to their needs. The Bhils, who had long been the torments of all caravans, were routed from their mountain hideouts and persuaded to settle down as honest farmers. She invited farmers from other parts to come and settle in her kingdom and develop farming in some of the barren lands in her kingdom. She invited weavers, experimented with them, and created the famous Maheshwari fabric. She left a mark in different parts of India, right from Kashi to Rameshwar. She also replastered some of the carvings and statues at Ellora caves. Her style of administration is an absolute case study of management. which has been totally ignored by many of today's experts. Her life shines brightly in history for ruling her kingdom dutifully with motherly affection, respect, and selflessness, sincerely devoting herself to her subjects. Ahilyabai Holkar is a great inspiration for us. I feel we should remember her and cherish her memory. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.